3.
If you're wondering what these pages are that I'm reading the headnotes from, they're called the first pass, and that's the only time now that we're going to get printouts. The rest is all done via computer, and soon the second pass will be coming, and that's when we have to read through all the proofreaders' comments, which we've approved, the editor's changes and comments, and ours. So that means reading through the entire manuscript, I think for the 4th time, but that gets really close to the final. Chapter 7, Meringues. The crown jewel meringues. Confession, the only thing I ever really liked about macarons was their exquisite texture, crackly shells with moist, chewy interiors, sandwiching a creamy filling. Flavor-wise, I just found them too damn sweet. But a few years ago, my baker friend Kimberly pointed me to Thomas Keller's bullseye technique, which features a ring of buttercream around the edges of the filled macaron and a dot of curd or jam in the center, and the idea of the multiplicity of textures and balance of tart and sweet flavors intrigued me. I adapted the concept using my own favorite lemon, curd, and mousseline. These macarons are larger than usual in order to accommodate the buttercream and lemon curd. They are labor-intensive, but trust me, I wouldn't offer this recipe if I didn't think it was worth every second involved in making them. The results are not only amazingly delicious, they are empowering. I like to keep the natural pale almond color of the macaron batter here rather than coloring it, so that when biting into the cookies, you get the happy surprise of the sunny yellow lemon curd centers. There are 3 basic components for this recipe: macaron shells, lemon curd, and mousseline buttercream, which also uses some of the curd. Both the macaron shells and the mousseline require making an Italian meringue in which a hot syrup is added to the egg whites for the best texture and stability. The French technique of the French macaron does not use the Italian meringue, but I think it's worth going this extra step. In fact, I have to admit that macarons were one of the things that intimidated me, and I finally feel like I've gotten to the bottom of it. Ergo, you're now getting very specific, explicit directions so that you will not have to be afraid as I was. Pecan praline chocolate Scheherazades. If there was just one sweet thing to choose from in the entire litany of desserts, this would be my first choice. Maybe not. Maybe it would be the butterscotch toffee coming up next. Well, here's the head note, and you can decide. These pralines are caramel at its finest moment. Smooth, chewy, and creamy. They are delicious even when frozen. Dipped into melted chocolate, they have all the elements of chocolate pecan turtles grown up. This confection deserves the best ingredients: golden syrup, muscovado sugar, creme fraiche, bourbon vanilla, fleur de sel, high-quality dark chocolate, and lightly toasted pecans. The golden syrup and creme fraiche add a lilting flavor and slight tang to balance the delicious butterscotchy sweetness. I named this favorite confection after my favorite childhood story. Scheherazade was the beautiful and clever woman who saved her life by intriguing her murderous husband with 1,001 unfinished stories, so delicious that he kept her alive each night in anticipation of the next. This may well be what inspired me to become a storyteller. These confections, like Scheherazade stories, are so delicious one can never have enough. And now for the butterscotch toffee, double chocolate butterscotch toffee. I really love chocolate on both sides of the toffee, but getting it to spread and not get hard before adding the nuts was tricky. I finally came to a secret way to do it, which will be really easy. You simply chill it in the refrigerator. Well, you'll see when you read the rest of the recipe. Here's the head note. This irresistible combination of chocolate, caramel, and almonds is a time-honored crowd pleaser. The molasses and the brown sugar gives the toffee its butterscotch flavor. The baking soda is the secret to its perfectly crunchy and not sticky texture. And the next chapter is going to be the final chapter 8.